All right. Howdy doody, everyone. Varel here, Flow Roofing, Portland, Oregon. Formerly known as the Portland Pizza Plant Daddy. And I thought, it's been a minute since we've had a check-in video, long form, where we can have a conversation, kind of download our thoughts. We've had so much happen in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I feel like it's worth having a conversation. And what better place to do it than a roof in St. John's. So they call these barrel roofs. And this roof actually comes from one of our old landlord's buddies. And so maybe you guys don't know, but we used to be bunkered in Northwest in the industrial district next to Dealer Supply, which is the local Portland roofing supply store. And everyone else is owned by the big boys, the nationwide companies, and Dealers treats us pretty good. And so we were over there in the Northwest industrial area for about 18 months or so. And they were a brutal 18 months. We got almost monthly, like clockwork, vehicle break-ins because we didn't have any security fencing. We had no space, and back when we had about 12 people in the company, we all shared a bathroom in a tiny little, about 15 by 30 foot space. And in that 15 by 30 foot space was a bathroom that took up about 10 by 10 feet. So you can imagine it's pretty small for a group like that. And we went through that winter, and it was pretty snug, you can imagine. And we were buying our time, trying to make the right move to not overextend ourselves, but also be aggressively patient, which is so hard these days. And I think it's starting to pay off. So that patience allowed us to find an opportunity for the shop where we are right now off 84. And I thought there would have been like this flood of phone calls. Oh, look at a roofing company off the 84. And it's no different. I think in the local community, I'm not trying to beat our own drum here. I think we just came up so hot and heavy that people see us as relatively new to the Portland market, even though we've been open for 8 years now. And at least what we do is we approach roofing in a preventative fashion. We don't want anyone to buy a roof. And that's where a lot of our relationships come from. And so, again, this roof comes from that landlord relationship. And they're sitting on a warehouse that is way worse off than this, for the roof at least. And I'm telling his son, I'm like, well, if you want to do it right, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. And he said, because he's a young buck, he'll go ahead and do it himself. As he should, because it's not a small roof. And, but, solid family. They've probably been in the Portland region for decades and decades for them to own as much of the property that they have. But I'm here with Nick now. This place, I don't know the company name, but they do old-fashioned carbon paper manufacturing. I don't really have an explanation for why they have miniature roofs where their skylights were. But I know that the skylights had their little miniature dormer ventilation detail, and that's probably why they added the vents to the top of here, along with the chicken mesh, which doesn't completely cover it, but gets the job done. When you're a small business owner in Portland, I think you have to be somewhat scrappy. In any business, really, if you want to start it out right, you need to have the mental fortitude to push through some shit. And so we got a lot of announcements, and I kind of figured a long form video with you guys would be worthwhile. And so that the owner here was pushed into this inspection by his insurance, unfortunately, and this silver coating, I don't even think it lasts 10 years normally. I think it's probably well on its way to 15. And in different areas of this particular roof, obviously no maintenance. He didn't know how old the roof was. He'd owned the building for some time but never had issues. The roof doesn't leak, which is a miracle. And so we don't want it to leak at all. And what we'll do is try to make sure that it never leaks while he owns it for life. And there's going to be a couple different things we can do to present solutions to extend the lifespan, but there's only so much you can do when the coating is flaking, peeling, cracking. You're not going to get another coating, another liquid applied system on top of this roof. But this is the seam that I wanted to walk back to and show you. Repair temp, new cap metal-ish cap metal. And a transition, it raises about 2 inches right there. So it's like this was a partial tear off and a torch redo, partial repair. They got the newer skylight over there as well. Someone definitely, this might have been an addition even, actually, because underneath this they had plywood sheathing. So this particular area, and the rest of it is vertically orientated tongue and groove. No insulation, which is wild. But I guarantee you there's a couple layers on this here. And we're going to be doing some core sampling, which is what Nick's doing right now. And so we'll take a look, see what he's finding. But man, we got some announcements that are worth sharing. I really wanted to take a step back from all the contents wearing on me to be staring at the damn screen so much. So you do core samples a couple different ways. And when you have a torch system, asphalt base, it's generally best to use a coring tool. If you have a membrane system on any of these other roofs nearby, even if it is torch, you can sometimes get away with using a razor knife. But see a seam over here, Nick? Where that, oh goodness, that's thick. You see that seam right there? That's a single layer targeted repair where that cap metal is. Over here, everything else is like an extra couple layers. You can see it almost raises up 2 inches. It's insane. That's decking. Is it? No? Uh-oh. We're gonna keep going now. Let's take a look. I don't think I got much further. I think that's at least 2 layers right now. Keep going, maybe. Sheesh. So if you don't take a core sample, you don't have an accurate picture of the roof. And you should take multiple core samples. Otherwise, you're straight up guessing. Alrighty, now we're down to the wood deck. So, you punch out this bad boy. Oh, goodness. Alrighty. So, that's pretty tall. That's some roof right there. Oh goodness. Okay, so wood deck, no underlayment. Call that 1, 2, at least 3. Now, one of those could be a torch base, and then there could just, I think, see how those separate like that though? Yeah, it could just be a base and cap sheet, but pretty thick. I think 3 layers at least, with how much material's right there.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Limits his options, I guess. But I guarantee you a single layer over on this other side. And he's leaving his skylights on his membrane. It's just a big no-no. Just the weight of those alone is going to slice in there. So seal up a core sample. There's no insulation to test for water or moisture. Basically just fill up everything, reseal the hole, and yeah, so big expense for any property owner. You find 3 layers like that, you are looking at a massive amount of labor disposal that also unfortunately limits what we can do for the layover. From a structural and engineering standpoint, there's too much weight on the roof to add more layers. Now, another roofer, less responsible roofer, is going to be like, let's fucking lay it over, and just try to tell whatever the property owner needs to hear to get paid. And we see that shit so much. And our key relationships, our biggest clients, all come from having really nice, honest, transparent conversations around the hard information they need to hear. They don't know shit about roofing. They only understand that this is my building that's been cash flowing since the 50s, and we put layers on before. Why can't we keep putting layers on now? Your manufacturers aren't going to warranty it, first off. The city's not going to know, because you're just going to but what if something happens? What if the roof collapses? Barrel roof, it's got better runoff than anything else. But responsible roofing, by the book roofing, is how we do it. That way I can sleep good at night, make sure Nick can sleep good at night. Property owners know they're getting proper care and protection. Moreover, I think it's a reputation thing as well. I don't necessarily compare us to any old roofing company. I try not to pay attention to the competition, but if I do look to anyone for standards, we'll wait till we get past this mist, walk into the marsh. Competition is healthy in all business. It raises everyone's standards, hopefully, if you're doing it right. And it allows for people to give the consumer, whoever that is, a better experience, a better product, because people are going to buy the best product or service for what their dollar can afford. It's pretty basic economics. But when you have a service that's a commodity like roofing, where in some cases people don't see the difference between your price and another person's price, and they only see the solution in a dollar amount, they don't really give a shit about your company, your reputation, then they'll go with the cheaper solution, because it could be plus or minus. In some situations like this roof here, I would gather that this is probably closer to about 400 squares with the slope of these domes. But it doesn't mean that he needs to act on this system today, but he does need eyes to maintain this system moving forward, because as it ages out, you're going to have these sections here become more relevant. Maybe he knows about this targeted repair and he's waiting for us to give us our thoughts on it. You never know. And we know we're not the only show in town, but again, like who we're comparing ourselves to in the industry flow against the world is the Flynn's, the Centimarks, the Tectas. I look to these nationwide brands, Simon's even in there too. I look to these nationwide brands and I ask, okay, if you strip away their legacy capital, what type of service, what are they really providing? They're providing the best information possible, right? But they're still going to be having the same labor that we have. They have the same certificates that we have. Now, these bigger companies, this is not good. The drain's definitely clogged. But they have something that we don't have, that's for sure. They have what's called like these in-house warranties. I don't know what they're called specifically, but these big-ass companies, they know that registering the warranties through the manufacturers is a waste of money. That if they can certify the roof with their own workmanship, and they've laid down X amount of square footage over the years, that the percentage of failure, like we know, is so low that you can start to guarantee the roofs without needing to register the warranties through the manufacturers, which is in the best interest of the client, because then you don't have to go through the bureaucracy of all the red tape that is ultimately going to be a prorated product warranty. Ultimately, even like in an NDL situation, the fair market value for the repair, they're not going to replace the whole roof just because the seam popped. You understand? So like, they're going to pick and choose their battles in the best interest of their company, the manufacturers, which sucks. And so, all right, so anyway, we got some announcements. First off, we're going to ask ownership if we can take home some of these. I kind of figured it wouldn't be cool to create a conference table with a glass top over the top of the skylights. You just create like a wooden box and you're looking down into the skylight. It'd be kind of rustic, custom. So we know 3 layers now from the core sample, and you can see maybe the shadow a lot better. That's about 2-inch drop to this, which is a lot newer section of the roof versus the old. And so we've got our first commercial, and it's not as, I'm trying to contemplate the best way to digest the opportunity, because it comes straight out of left field. And I have, if you guys follow me at all, and you don't, I've done pizza for some time before this around Portland, and I retired from pizza during the pandemic because I was 100% event focused and all the events disappeared. It's like, well, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to eat? I got this construction license. I got this gutter company, right? You make a pivot, do a little truffle shuffle, and you find yourself on roofs. And so this commercial, though, holy tamale. The company reaches out to us, and we're not going to go too in depth just yet. But once it's shot here in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe we have another video up on the roof of that roof. And wouldn't that be some type of check-in? Shoot, I'll be stoked to share with you guys for sure. It's exciting. I mean, this company reached out to us out of the blue. It's a product company that probably the majority of people might at least recognize. It's not a roofing product, which is cool. But they're gonna ask for some specialty projects for us to do the shoot with. And I had been little honeybee. Save the bees, Portland. Come on now, dude. I should carry you down to a flower. He's tired. He's been buzzing all morning. Fucking up the planet, you guys. Not good. Poor guy. Anyway, so easy to get tangentially distracted while up on the roof. It's been about a week or two since I've been on a commercial system with Nick, and got a 10 o'clock coming up here, a couple meetings, 10, 11, and a 12, and then I'm gonna help Nick with a Lake O inspection around 2, and then he's gone off to football practice. I'll hold it down, check in on everyone else. We got small apartment mansard roofs going on, like a 2012 section. We've got all of our other residential crews flowing, our gutter crews flowing. Gutters are stacking up. We got to get on those ASAP because we have our HOA starting, our first HOA, and there's a good 10,000 feet of gutters on this project, and I do not want the gutters to be the bottleneck. I don't think they will. Actually, I think the siders getting everything prepped out and ready for the roofs would be the bottleneck. We'll see. They go, we could do more siding than you could do roofing. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's go. We're gonna put over 40 guys on site here in the next 2 to 4 weeks, hopefully sooner than later. So this cracking is no bueno, obviously. That's just trapped air, moisture between the layers. And so this commercial, I want to bring you guys up on one of Portland's more well-known roofs. And it's been a goal of mine to get up there, and I didn't really know how or how to ask. And then these guys reached out, and I kind of mentioned to them, well, hey, if I could pull some strings, what do you think? And they go, no fucking way. And I'm like, well, see what happens. So, you don't get what you don't ask for in life, and you don't get what you don't want if you don't want it bad enough. And I've learned that I've always gotten precisely what I've wanted and nothing more, because then I also realized then I didn't actually want it if I didn't get it. And there's this strange connection, and some people call it energy. I'm starting to learn that for me, I call it flow. It's the connection between moments, space, matter, and it starts to dive into the spiritual, religious realm, for me at least, because it's a path where even though I'm walking seemingly mindlessly, undirectionally, that this is the exact path that I'm meant to walk. And if that resonates with anyone, let me know, because there's been these synchronicities that are so profound that it's hard to understand the reasoning behind why or how, and some people might call it luck. I don't completely understand it yet, but I'm here for it. I'm learning, I'm listening, I'm watching. It's like almost this third person style observation. It's incredible. So it's one of the reasons why I keep flowing, I keep going, because, and the reason why I stay in roofing is I live for these moments of not completion. It's not about the destination. It's this damn journey, which is so completely surprising. Every damn day we get into the shop, we see smiling faces, everyone's busy, which is what I love. And it's one of the reasons why I had this shop in Northwest in a small little 15 by 30 we're talking about, is because I like the feel of the energy of the people around me, because it is contagious. And so if you have good energy coming in and you're giving people good energy, and they typically are a reflection of the energy around them, because people are a product of their environment. generally. And the reason why I love the roofs is because we get the blue sky. So, for the majority part of the summer. But, what do you think, that lower section? Pretty tattered?
Yeah, it's pretty tattered. Pretty tattered. Well, look.
Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, the gutter is falling off. Rusted gutter there. It's caving in, and right where the chimney meets that.
Yeah. Basically, the way I see those fascias too, I wouldn't doubt if there's some sort of like truss issue below.
Yeah.
You know, some structural, which is crazy. That furnace is blowing hot. You can see it. So, I mean, that's got to be dealt with delicately.
I can smell the gas too.
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, definitely let him know. He's got to get extra eyes on this, so he doesn't think that we're just trying to tell him what we want him to know. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like, he needs to hear this from all the, tell him, go call fucking Interstate, go call everyone else, right? And let them tell him the same thing that we're going to tell him. Because he needs to hear it. It's not going to be good news. With the 3 layers? Jesus. Oh wow, sun came out. Perfect timing. Tugboats tugging. St. John's Bridge looking sexy. Oh no, I think we missed the jazz festival. Shit. Okay, alrighty. Next year. Okay, so flow equals energy. And it may be hard to wrap your head around it. It's not, I don't think it's an outrageous concept, but energy is connected and the transfer of energy is conserved. And there's, what is it? It's conservation of energy. God, it's been too long. Oh goodness, you hear those potato chips? It's no good. Ooh, okay. Conservation of is entropy is the movement of energy, or entropy. Oh shit! It's been so long. Here I go, trying to sound smart. I'm not even gonna try, guys. I know, roast me. We gotta get ready to go down to our meeting, but I really wanted to have a check-in video with you guys because I ghosted you for like good 3 weeks there almost. Felt like 4th of July hit, went camping, and the waves started coming through, the swells picked up. It was like a solid, what? I ain't got to 7 foot in Pacific City, I know it. And you know, they had some big stuff come through, and I really just wanted to make sure that the team was taking care of the clients in the best way possible, the most responsible way, the most professional way. And who am I to be? I'm not the roofing professional. I'm the pizza guy, right? Turning into roofer. But I can imagine, and my mom taught me this, the golden rule: treat people the way you want to be treated. Is I'm thinking about, okay, you know, we have these top 10 or 20 clients. What is the legendary client experience look like? And how can we get as close to that as possible, or pursue that level of perfection every single day? And to coach the team to be diligent, responsive, careful, cleansely, all the different things that go into making a roofing experience flow, because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. This growth that we have, contrasting it to other companies that I've heard of, like High Performance Homes, or everyone knows about DeBella, these sales organizations, they're all what they call paper contractors. And that's my first year I started out as a paper contractor. And what they do is they're literally just salespeople, and then they sub out the work, right? And so many people, even in my hometown chats down in Florence, I hear them, oh, they're door knocking again. And like, unfortunately, those experiences are so wild. It's irresponsible roofing is what it is. And because you're literally putting the customer's property, their asset, at risk of someone who doesn't care about anything about except the money. The subs do not give a shit. They're there to get paid. And they'll go with the roofer, the paper contractor who's got the most roofs, to be able to try and make the most of their short season here in the Northwest. And unfortunately, then you get a lot of people that have less than ideal experiences. And so, you know, my first summer I did 50 roofs as that paper contractor. And then the next summer we got up to 100 and we hired the crews. I had to sell my own gutter machine, gutter truck, took off the belt in order to be able to make that pivot. And then now we have 4 in-house teams, which about 4.5 now, because I consider the gutter team, at least they're not roofers, but they only do gutters. And we have both those machines in-house, which is amazing. Which I told myself I would never buy another fucking gutter machine, and here we are. So, anywho, the commercial, we'll do another video once we get that. I told the building that we're going to be needing at least possibly a 16-hour window with the ability to come back if the weather is not right. And we would literally do sunrise to sunset in a way that I'm still trying to figure out what's like this nearly perfect scripted, and I say scripted because I don't want to fuck it up, and we'll try to make it sound organic because a lot of my own words are not perfect English, obviously. I tested out of college English in high school, and I said, fucking thank God I've ever taken another English class. I took a poetry class or two, but you know, for the most part, I never wanted to touch English again. Actually, I took the GRE to get a master's at Oregon State. I was so average, and the English section, the language portion of the test, brought me down. And I realized, cool, my 3.0 ass wasn't going to be a doctor. But you apply yourself enough time. I'm trying to stick it out for a decade in roofing. You know, a decade of roofing experience makes you a doctor of roofing. And I'm 5 years into it now. And, you know, 5 years into any practice, doctors go 4 more years on the undergrad, after their undergrad, right? I've gone 5 years now into roofing, so I'm getting to that point with roofs that I feel like I can diagnose things a lot better. I can kind of see the future, see into the systems with a better degree of confidence. I won't say that I'm always 100% confident, and it's hard to be 100% in an industry where the nature of the project is generally halfway concealed. You can't even see through this shit. So it is how we flow. And generally, I love it. This journey has been so fulfilling. The trials and tribulations, the tests, the grit necessary, the people. And I love my commercial clients. They're on a different level with their wits, their questions, and they care about a long-term relationship in a way that the single family people, as much as I love you guys, you treat us so transactionally. And it's not your fault. It's just the nature of the purchase. And you guys are making a big purchase, and there's so many options, and you don't necessarily know anyone. And you're asking your neighbors and your family, like, who did they use? And it's not everyone had a good experience, right? And for the most part, generally, all the roofers that are licensed in Portland are probably going to put on a good roof. They have to, otherwise they're going to get screwed, right? And I mean, I don't know how I only know how we flow, really. And to continue to push our teams to do the best possible preliminary work sets all other steps downstream of the inspection. It sets it up for success, and that's the most critical aspect of any project, I'd say, on building envelope exterior work. Because if you don't know what you're getting into, then you can lose trust if you don't educate people properly in what they're getting into. So that's why I've trained Nick. The best of the best, baby. Also taking this video. And so with that, I'm going to have to jump down. There's so many more announcements, things that have happened, projects that I want to share, projects that we have coming up. There was a slow buildup this year. The energy of the economy is different in 2025, the first half, than I felt in 2024. And maybe you guys feel it, maybe you hear it, maybe you see it. But our goal was 500 residential roofs, and we're not going to hit that this year, which is fine, I guess. Just missing a cap here. 500 was this like egotistical number. It wasn't representative of reality, and I wasn't putting the right funds in place to accomplish that goal. And if I'm being really honest, like there's a company that y'all probably know too, Ibex, out of Vancouver, and he had a YouTube video. He put $1.4 million into his machine, and it spat out, he said he did 16 million in 2024. And revenue is vanity. They say profit is sanity. I've been focusing a lot on making sure that clients have the right experience and putting people in place, even if that means I'm sacrificing the profit, to make sure that people are having the right roofing experience. At this point, I'm in it so deep that there's no other choice than making sure that everyone who gets to go with the flow is taken care of with the best possible communication, pictures, documentation, workmanship possible. And so we're gonna let Nick wrap up his inspection. We gotta hit the road. We're gonna do some drone shots here while the sun's out before we scoot. And we've got a buddy I haven't seen in like 3+ years, maybe 4+ years. Gonna go do some camping down in Ashland this weekend. And then Sunday night, I'll be driving up to Seattle from Ashland, a good 12 hours, so probably, which will be fun. You want to listen to some audiobooks, send me any recommendations you guys might have, and we'll do a trailer shuffle up there Sunday night. Monday morning we'll come back down, we'll get back after it. So leg day Thursday morning, Thursday night, so that way we can kind of justify all the sitting around that we're going to do. Bring a fishing pole, enjoy the sun while it's still shining, get prepared for the fall. We got some interviews to do tomorrow, and a ton of meetings as well coming up. So yeah, hopefully that's kind of a good update. I didn't really plan anything specific, but rooftop meetings I feel like are necessary. Like that was an audio biography. And this poor roof. We're gonna go ahead and scoot it, meet with sister back at the shop, get the drone up in the air. You can tell. I'll catch you back at the shop, brah. Safe travels. You can see if this lower roof is in this state. God damn, that decking is fucked. I can see why that maybe why I wanted to try to kick the can down the road, because that shit's gnarly. So anywho, alrighty, we gotta wrap it up. So stay cool out there. It's gonna heat up a little bit. Hopefully you guys find a river, lake, dip in the ocean a little bit before the season comes back and gets a little too wet. And yeah,